So first off, why, in most basic terms, why do you think Dungeons and Dragons, whether it's the game or video games, has become such a phenomenon in the last 10 years?
I think we are existing in an era where people will sit and watch a film, but ultimately there is a lot of fun to be had in having a choice involved in what's going to happen with the plot. And playing video games, playing tabletop, that's what that's about. You get to affect the world. You don't just sit back and passively watch what's happening. You get to be part of it. You get to shape it. And if you're with a great group of people, that story could go in completely different directions. I think a lot of people who've never played games before are enjoying Baldur's Gate 3 for precisely that reason, that they're not just sitting back and watching something. They feel invested in it and they get to make their mark on the story. That's a
beautiful answer. I love that. Well, on that note as well, we've got big names that always come and visit Australia now that are selling out stadiums to play Dungeons and Dragons. What do you think the draw is of watching a game like that?
I think being part of a D&D game or any kind of tabletop game is so much fun. But there's only so much time in the world, and anybody who's played them knows that scheduling is the ultimate end boss and will derail lives. I think also finding a group that gels together and has fun together like that is difficult to make happen initially. So if there's a group that vibes together, I don't think people need to be actively part of that to enjoy watching it happen, and especially with what like Critical Role has been doing from the beginning, and now Dimension 20, all these different phenomenal groups who role play in such different ways. Like LA by Night is a totally different vibe, you know? You can see people exploring the kind of role play that they love, and they're drawing their communities to them. So it gets to be an experience for more than just that small group. They get to welcome the world in and let them enjoy these stories they're creating together. It's really cool.
It is really cool. It is really beautiful. And on that note, you mentioned Critical Role, you mentioned D20. Obviously, you know, Brendan Lee Mulligan is coming down. Critical Role visited recently, but you were a part of this community of voice actors as well that have become juggernauts when it comes to names in the world of Dungeons and Dragons as a brand, as a brand that people watch and consume. Voice actors seem to be the top dogs. Why do you think that is as one of them?
I think we are the face of something bigger. And I think it's really important we remember that. Like, there's a whole team behind us that work on these games for so many years before we even get to look at a script. So when people say that they love us in a game, what they're really saying is they love the game. They love the writing of a character. They love the story of the character. And that's not me. I'm just the public face of that. So I kind of have to go, well, here are some people you might want to thank. Like, it's lovely that people see us now because, well, I mean, to varying degrees, depending on your social anxiety. But it's lovely that people are appreciating that because we don't get that feedback like you would if you were doing a stage show. You know if the audience has been loving it or hating it, or if it's a quiet night, or if something worked just right. We have to wait years for the game to be finished before we get that feedback. So that's what this is. That's what conventions are.
True. And speaking of getting on stage, you recently got on stage only, was it yesterday or 2 days ago now? 2 days ago now. What is time? With some incredible Australian talent. How do you reckon people like One for All in Australia, when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, stack up on the international stage?
I adore One for All. And in fact, when I was booked for PAX, I contacted them because I've been a fan of them for so long. And I sent them the most awkward Instagram message of all time. Just like, hi, I'm coming to PAX. And if you'd like to like meet up or like do something creative or whatever, like just give me a shout. Sorry for bothering you, bye. And then like 10 minutes later, I had this existential crisis and went, oh, sorry, it's Amelia. I'm the narrator of Baldur's Gate 3, if you've heard of that. And I got this like deadpan message back, like, dude, we know who you are, which is weird enough, right? Something that I've been watching. And the same thing happened when I met the people from Critical Role. Like, I've been a critter for ages, and meeting them, it's always weird.
It's full circle.
But One for All, I've been wanting to play tabletop again for a really long time. I've been waiting super patiently while people like take characters with a face from BG3 and put them in games because they want to see the existing characters interact and stuff. but I've been playing tabletop for a really long time, and I've been looking forward to this. So I've just been sat on the sidelines like, is it my go now? Can I play?
It was finally your
Yeah,
turn.
and that was my first, like, I played a tiny bit of D&D with Mark Meir at a convention recently, but that's it. This was my first on-stage D&D, and finding a group of people that you gel with, like comedy beats wise, is really rare at the best of times. But we just we vibed together, because I was quite nervous beforehand.
I could not tell at all. You were a natural up there.
I loved it. They're all really great at giving everyone space, right? Like leaving a pause so somebody can put the perfect comment in, or just saying just enough and then retreating, like knowing when to take the scene, when to leave the scene and let somebody else have it. Like that's what makes them work from a comedy point of view. It's a very collaborative thing rather than someone being a star. So true. You know?
It's very much an ensemble piece.
Yeah, exactly.
This brings me to my final question for this round.
Round.
The round.
We've got another round.
We've got 10 rounds. And
God, I need water and coffee.
You finally get to get your face in front of the stage and play, but for now a generation of players, of video gamers, and probably tabletop gamers now too, you are the voice of Dungeons and Dragons now, not just the narrator of Baldur's Gate, but I feel like nowadays when people are rolling the dice around the table, they're hearing your voice in their head saying, that's a bit of a fail maybe, or a great success. How does it feel being the voice of D&D now, basically?
Weird. It's really weird. And I feel like a bit of a fraud, because I could never be a dungeon master in real life. I'm not built like that. Nobody would have a good time in that campaign. I'm built to be a player. So I've had some phenomenal DMs and GMs and keepers and everything else in my time. So I was just kind of channeling them, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah, it's strange. I just hope I get to do it more, and I hope I get to like be a player character as well, because it's become a running joke with Larian's Games that I'm the woman that you can't sleep with, but you can't progress the plot without, you know? and at this point, like all the fans are like, dude, seriously, again?
Put her in the game.
Yeah, like
Baldur's Gate 4.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Come on,
I'm looking forward to getting back to my acting roots. Yes. And playing some characters and getting to mess around that way. Like I would love, don't get me wrong, if they want to get me on for more D&D stuff, more narration, character, like literally whatever. Like I'm an actor with the traveling hobos of the entertainment industry. Like please help us pay the bills. But I'm looking forward to exercising something a little bit different, trying some different things, working on some weird projects and just seeing what happens.
I can't wait to find out.